Hi, I'm Sam, and it's Christmas morning, so I thought I'd come out and share a few thoughts. I've been trying for the last couple of days, but there's lots of people up here on holiday at the moment, so all the usual places where I record, down here in the woodland, there's a waterfall. I usually stand there or on the shores of the loch. I can't find any solitude. I even went up there, but there's always people. So I need some privacy for these videos, so I thought I'd come out early in the morning and share a few thoughts. But it is very cold, so if the camera turns itself off, because the batteries don't last very long in the cold, I've got another battery warming up in my pocket, so there might be a pause or two in this video. So yeah, what am I going to talk about? It's so strange, this process of me sharing as honestly as I can my own. It's awakening, becoming. We think of it as healing because pain is an element of the journey. Pain is the essence of the process. Really, it's the pain of letting go of the illusions that have helped us cope with life, and it's the agony of accepting that you have no control over anything but yourself. And for those of us that have had our lives defined by abuse in childhood, the need for control is an essential coping mechanism. And in a way, you don't realize how, no matter how much you think you're thriving or how much you've kind of moved past it, you can't change your experience. So somewhere there is an influence of whatever happened to you. And for me, what I went through as a kid was persistent. It was the entirety of my childhood, and I was born into it, so I never knew anything else but fear. And that defined my life. Absolutely defined my life. I'm 55. I spent decades of my life struggling with various addictions. When I wasn't seeking oblivion in drugs, I was severely bulimic and drinking, and I would actually seek out drugs to stop me being bulimic because the bulimia was horrific. All as a consequence of what I went through as a kid. Decades of self-abuse because of that seed, the parasite planted inside me as a child, the parasite of shame that feeds off this voice that despises us, and it's ours. It's our inner voice of hate. And I dealt with that my whole life. And when you're born into hostility, you have to reduce everything. You have to make the world simpler, otherwise you can't manage it. And you build a world inside your head of illusions and stories, and it reduces everything and makes it more manageable. But you may, like me, get to a point later in life, in your 40s or 50s, and there is a hunger. This is what brings us into the process. It's initiation, the process. It's initiation into deeper, more intimate relationship with reality. And this is why healing just doesn't really adequately describe the process. It's initiation, really. It's becoming truer, becoming more real, becoming more present, becoming more available. But what begins that process is the hunger. What is that hunger? It's the hunger to actually let down your guard. It's the hunger to be liberated from the fear that's defined our lives. It's the hunger to just let go. It's the hunger for connection more than anything else. Connection. We're not supposed to be isolated. We're not supposed to live lives of self-protection and attempts to control. We are supposed to live in connection and relationship, because that is where we transcend the complexity and conflicts of self. But because of the abuse, we retreat into self. Self becomes our primary reality, and then we get caught in this hall of mirrors where everywhere is reflected conflict, things we hate. Everybody has that to a degree, but in relationship, in connection, we transcend it. Meaning in connection, meaning in the well-being of others, not ours. And if you like me, you will be disgusted by your own self-centeredness. Eventually, that's how it got for me. So that hunger was the hunger for surrender, to connection, to be free. And you have to answer that. You have to nourish that hunger somehow. And so that when that hunger for connection outweighs the terror of what you're protecting yourself from, you will go through the process, the agonizing process of seeing yourself clearly, seeing all the mechanisms for control, seeing the performances and the manipulations, seeing the parts of you that you have exiled inside you. You must include it, because how else are you going to make yourself available if you're too scared to show yourself, if you are disgusted by yourself, if you have exiled those parts of you in shame and shadow inside you? If you can't see them, if you can't accept them, if you can't be compassionate to those parts of you, you're never going to be able to show up, because you're always going to be terrified of actually being seen. That's what we do. We perform. Want to be seen, but don't really want to be seen. So if you can't see yourself, if you can't include all those parts of you and see them in compassion, say, I know this is there. Just know it's there. How else are you ever going to allow yourself to be seen, to be found, to be known, to experience connection, true intimacy? I'm 55, I've never experienced tenderness. I've never experienced real love, because I couldn't allow myself to be loved, because I thought I was so fucking corrupt. I didn't want anyone to see me. That's the hunger. That's the hunger that must be nourished. So, you know, these videos, I know people think I re-traumatize myself with these videos. Some people do, but I just think that maybe your path has just been different. I never talk in any detail, never. So if you listen to what I say in my videos, I talk around things. I talk about how the feelings, what I'm processing at the time. Talk about consequences. I never talk in detail about what I went through, because that is re-traumatizing. And in a way, you know, making these videos has made things more difficult for me, but it's also made things because it's made them more intense, because of it, part of the reason that we hide in illusion and we can't connect, it's because we don't really want people to see us. And in these videos, you see me and I see me. I see things I'm hiding. That's why this channel is just like dramatically intensified the process that we call healing. It's been agonizing at times, but it's not re-traumatizing. So, you know, I show myself in these videos. I show myself as honestly as possible, but invariably there is always something hidden. Why is it hidden? Because of shame. And so each video brings me into contact with that, and that I am forced to process it because the pain is so intense. Why do I feel fear? Why do I feel shame? Always the question comes. So over the last week, I went through absolute agony, the worst I've been through in many, many years, because I had a very open conversation with somebody in a sort of public forum, and I talked about things I don't normally talk about, and it did re-traumatize me, and I was in fucking agony all last week. I was in agony. Why? Because I'd shown myself more clearly, more openly. But that agony I went through last week brought me to the inevitable clarity of surrender. And I woke up on Monday morning, 2 days ago, after the worst week in many, many years, and I could see my entire life laid out in a series of frames, like slides, from my earliest memories to that moment, Monday morning, in that liminal space between wakefulness and sleep, before conscious mind has started to claim our attention and build narratives and stories and reduce everything. Pay attention to what comes up there. And I could see everything, and I could see that for my entire life, I have been bound in the pattern of abuse. Nothing I did, nothing I thought, nothing I said, no efforts to free myself, no efforts to heal, no efforts to sort it all out. Nothing worked, nothing, because everything, there was no place, there was no time where the abuse and the self-abuse ended and I began. It was a tangle. It was a tangle. And that's what we do when we try and fix ourselves. We get caught in the tangle. Our attention is still in the incessant need for control. The control that is gained through self-blame as an abused child. This is my fault. Control, control. If it's my fault, I can change it. That's exactly what you're doing when you're trying to fix yourself. And it's still intimately intertwined, entangled in the abuse. If I can sort this out, if I can fix it, everything's going to be okay. Control. And our attention is just siphoned off. Our energy, our life force is given to the wrong thing. It's in the wrong place. We're trying to fix all the things that make us feel stable. And when you do reduce them, you feel unstable, because it reveals the fear that is masked by the need for control. So we're looking in the wrong place. We're giving our attention to the wrong thing. Because you're going to give your attention and your energy and your life force to what is the most important thing for you. For a time, it's going to be control. But eventually, you will just become so fucking frustrated and so disgusted and so isolated that you'll begin to surrender. And you say, what is the most important thing for me? Surrender. That hunger for connection, for freedom, real freedom, surrender. And then you realize you have no control, not externally. And the only real control you have, the only real freedom you have, is to surrender and radically accept yourself. Bring those exiled parts of you into the light in compassion. You know, I said in the last video, love yourself. What the fuck does that even mean? Love yourself. It's ridiculous, because you can look in the mirror as many times as you want and say, I love you, and you'll be lying. You don't. Respect yourself. Respect yourself. Be kind to yourself. Be compassionate, tolerant, and patient to the ways that we develop because of the abuse. That's kindness. That's self-love. So where is our attention? Is it in this incessant need to control and fix and right the wrong, to do it right? Or is it just in radical acceptance, to let down the guard, to let go of the shame and say, I see you, I see you, I see me. Really see yourself. Camera turned itself off. So Yeah. So if you can't see yourself clearly, if you can't zoom out, just what happened to me, but the pain was so fucking great last week that I did just have to let go. And it's like we resist, we refuse to let go because we need control. And then when I let go, I saw it all. I've never experienced anything like it. I saw the entirety of the pattern that I've just been entangled within my entire life. Nothing I did was outside that pattern. I could see it all. So can you see yourself clearly? Can you forgive yourself for not being who you want to be? Can you forgive yourself and start accepting yourself? Because if you can't accept yourself and bring those exiled parts into that self-compassion and forgiveness, if you can't do that for yourself, you're never going to allow anybody to get close to you. You're never going to be able to show yourself. You're never going to experience true connection and intimacy. That's where life begins. And when you see the entirety of the pattern that has bound you in relationship to the abuse, no matter what you do, maybe then you can start claiming your life. Because we have to see ourselves clearly before we can humbly move into relationship without conditions, without judgment and criticism. This is why you're here. It's why you're here. You know, and you don't even realize that our unwillingness to accept ourselves, because we blame ourselves for what happened, somewhere inside we blame ourselves. You're not even living. You're not even living. It's why you're here, is to just be you. This mysterious, ever-changing, ever-flowing discovery. You're not the latest event in a causal chain of events determined by everything that's happened before. It's not how it works. You are a discovery. Life is living you. You are constantly in flux. And so the certainty of our stories and the certainty of our need to control and the story that we keep repeating to ourselves over and over again, this is what happened to me, this is how I deal with it, this is who I am, this is what I need, this is what I don't like, this is what I want. All of that is reductive. You are a mystery. You are a mystery. And anything you think you know about yourself, just hold it so lightly that you're just, it's resting in the palm of your hand and saying, oh, how does this feel for now? You know, nothing is certain but uncertainty. Nothing is certain but the mystery. So can you accept yourself? Can you give yourself your life? We're all so close. This is what I see so clearly in the conversations I have with people and looking back over my own life. We're so close. I've said this before in previous videos. You're already occupying the space that you need to inhabit, but you're not here. You're up here. Get out of your mind and into experience, into relationship. Let go of control. Forgive yourself. You are here. Allow yourself to be found. Allow yourself to be here. You know, we're in the prison of our own mind, trapped in this darkness and shame and self-blame, despising the parts of ourselves that were treated with hostility, so we can never ever fully accept ourselves and show those parts. But if you experienced abuse in childhood, you were probably the most honest member of the family. You think about that. You were the most honest, truthful member of the family, which is why you experienced it. So that truth that you embodied as a child, embody it now as an adult. You have the strength, you have the capacity It's why you're here. Truth. The truth of who you are. If healing is anything, it's that. It's acceptance of that. So, I think my Christmas message is over. So I am rebuilding my website, and I'm going to be offering something slightly more formal. I mean, people reach out to me, they watch my videos, they reach out. I'm not a therapist or a counsellor. I'm not trained in anything, but I can support, I can listen, and we can discover together, you know. We're all walking the same path. Some people that watch my videos might be a couple of steps ahead of me. Some people might be a couple of steps behind me. Some people are walking right next to me. We're all walking together. And if you do need support, you can reach out and maybe we can walk together for a time and explore these things together. Because we need a witness. We need a witness. We need someone to hear our stories and to see things that we can't see. So that's what I'm going to do anyway. I'm just finishing the website. I'm wet. Horrifyingly, I need to have a photograph of myself for the front page, and I'm just waiting for a sunny day to take a photograph. Everything else is done, so I'll be relaunching that sometime over the next week or so, if I get a clear day. And there'll be a contact form there. Some testimonials from people that I've helped over the last year, and really they've helped me as well. You know, that's the beauty of this thing that I do now with this channel. Everybody that reaches out, we help each other. We're all learning together, growing together, becoming truer together, and you know, that's it. I've always wanted to center my life around helping other people get through what I've been going through, and that's my passion. That's my passion. And much as I try and do other things, I always come back to this. So I thought I may as well formalize it. So anyway, that's what I'm doing, and the website will be live soon, so check it out. Thank you to everybody that's with me on this journey. Thank you so much to everyone that confides in me in the emails and reaches out, and people that share of themselves in the comments. And all those lovely people that donate, you know, it makes such a difference. Thank you so much. And yeah, have a good Christmas, and I'll be back soon. Take care. Bye.